What's going on, y'all? What is popping? Welcome to another episode, an exciting episode of the Hog Side. I'm your host, CJ the Hog. Got my co-host right here, DMVChamp Brian.
What it
B, what
do?
is going on? What is popping? What's going on today?
Man, nothing much, man. Let's talk about training camp from Sunday of what we've seen and our opinions and everything like that.
Absolutely. So, of course, everybody know we went to training camp. Um, we went to training camp on Sunday. We got a special invite and VIP tickets to the suites that was given to us by Women of Washington organization.
Thank you, late. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the work that you do. Keep doing the hard work. I love supporting the Women of Washington and other foundations and organizations within the franchise. So definitely keep up the good work. I thank you. I had a great time. I had the luxury of bringing my best buddy here with me, DMV Champ, and his family. We had a remarkable
Amazing
time.
time. Had a
Like
good
we
time.
we like it was a good, man. It was good. So the crazy thing is they really enjoyed themselves. They really did. The kids enjoyed themselves. The lady enjoyed herself. She loved the whole VIP suite. They had the good food there. They had the chicken, the burgers, the fruit, the
Man,
mocktails, everything that you could put under the sun.
exactly.
They had it for you. You know, here's a few pictures, that we do have live from training camp with the fam. Um, Pretty good, man. We had fun, my guy Tutty, and we met
Joy
none other
Reid.
than Jordan Reed. Crazy thing is when we did see him, I didn't recognize him at first, right? And what I also noticed that there was a lot of other people that was just like, walking past him, didn't really recognize him. And I tapped Champ's shoulder, like, hey, Champ,
He's like, yo,
I
that's
ain't,
that's Joy Reid.
yeah, like I ain't no like superstar, you know what I'm saying, or he ain't no smart guy, you know what I'm saying, all that. But is that is that who I think it is? Is that Jordan Reed? And Champ looked like was like,
That's Joy Reid.
that's
That's
Jordan
Joy
Reed,
Reid.
man.
I was excited to see him, yeah. I was so excited to see that brother. He looks healthy. He's at peace. We all know the story about him. I wish he was
Yeah,
still part of the team, the organization. We haven't replaced him since he left or left the team. We haven't had another solid tight end. Uh, it was just a blessing. I think he was a super cool dude. Yeah. For him to just meet us, he gave us his time to talk to us. He could have been an asshole and just like, this ain't the time. He was nice, man. He was down to earth brother, man.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's a lot of people. Some people ask, well, did he say anything? Did he had anything to say? Like, like what's going on? Like, like what's the vibe? What's the vibes? So I did have the luxury of asking him if I can get an exclusive, a couple of questions from him, and he was nice about it. And we went. We didn't go live, but we did take a footage of us asking him questions. So here it goes. Here's the first one. It's your boy CJ from the Hog Side. We got here. We got our boy Jordan Reed.
The legendary Reed.
How does it feel to be back in Ashburn?
Feels good, man. Feels good. I'm from out here. I'm staying out here now, so this is home now.
Okay. So what is it like seeing the players, seeing the players out here? Gives you old vibes.
Definitely, man. I used to be busting ass on this field every day in practice. So
We know.
definitely,
We know.
We know.
memories, man. And just excited to see this team this year. Yeah.
Okay. So with the new ownership and everything that is changing here, I know I see a lot of alumni, familiar faces coming back. What is your thoughts on seeing the new ownership, seeing things, seeing changes that is coming for the future of the franchise?
Really excited about it, man. I think obviously we brought in some winners, Magic Johnson.
be a tight end coach?
Possibly.
He should. It's not. You got it, dog. He should.
Y'all know what it is, man. The CJ from the Hog side. Thank you again, Jordan Reed. Appreciate you. See you later, all right?
Thanks, Jordan.
Man, that was dope, bro. I'm sorry, that was dope. For him to be
man.
there and just do it, it was dope, man.
Yeah, like, and when I posted it on social media, everybody was like, "Dang, man, I was supposed to be there, but I couldn't." And it just sucks that Jordan Reed was there. I was like, I know, crazy. Jordan Reed was there. Um, there was a few other alumni there. B Mitch was there. Um, Gary Clark was there too. Gary Clark was there too, but Gary Clark was like on the move, So didn't really get the pictures and all that thing like that. But it was good. It was good. It was nice. The weather wasn't too bad until the end, until we got like 95 to like the real like the end of it. But
Yeah,
weather was
barbecue.
nice. The weather was nice, but we was under shade and the fan was blowing, and we had the good ice cold drinks at outside. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we needed it. So ain't no complaints over here. All right. Let's talk about the training camp and what we seen. I seen some interesting things. First thing first, I seen Andrew Wiley snapping the ball before and after practice. Not sure what that entails, but a new position flex. I don't know.
Possibly.
I don't know. Possibly. All I know is I need to see something better from the kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what I see. I ain't been liking what I've seen so far. I know it's early. I know everybody like CJ, stop it. It's too early. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm gonna step back a little bit. I'm gonna step back a little bit. So yeah. So champ,
Yeah.
what is it? What is it on on Sunday that you seen that really had you motivated and excited?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. And anybody, all the fam, you know, what I'm saying, the HTC fam that be on the podcast, they know I'm very biased about Sam Howell because I don't know too much. I'm not a huge college guy, but after seeing him spin the ball and throw that rock at practice, I'm confident in his arm talent, and I'm confident that he'll be okay. I'm still on the. I want to see more. It's like I just feel like whatever I'm getting to see from him is not enough. That's why I can't wait till the season starts. That's when you can really evaluate him completely the way you want to do it. But right now, I'm comfortable with him being a starter. I'm going to root for him. If he go out there and ball the hell out, it's a good look for us, and we're moving in the right direction. But I wasn't huge on the Sam Howell trade or the Brissett trade. I just didn't care who started, bro. You know who I wanted from this past year. But he stayed with the Ravens, so it's cool. But nah, man, I'm rooting for Sam. I want him. I'm gonna be behind him. I'm gonna be at the game and everything. Rooting for the kid. But he impressed me when we was at camp. He impressed me, and also Kaiser Allen or Cashmere Allen, if I said it right.
Speaking of Cashmere Allen, he has gotten a lot more reps on that Sunday. As far as getting him more involved in the wide receiving core, and the return duties. Not sure how has that progressed throughout the week. Um, man,
Let me ask you a quick question, bro.
what's
Do
up?
you or anybody that's watching right now, do y'all see Eric Bieniemy is using Kaiser as like a bootleg Tyreek Hill on certain gadget plays like sweeps, crack toss and stuff like? I mean, toss little gadget plays here and there.
I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of hard to say because Tariq Hill is just a different. Is in a
No,
whole
there's
different.
no. That's what I'm saying. That
You
sounds
know
like
what
a
I'm
cheap
saying?
bootleg
And
version. There's no Tyreek's only one.
I know, I know you want to say the cheap bootleg version, but when I say like Tariq Hill is him, he's him.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
him.
not arguing with you about that. No.
And does can Cashmere Allen, can step up and play a certain role of that stature or nature? It's possible, but he has a lot of things to work on as a receiver. And I think he has the return game down. I just need him to go forward more than side to side. That's just me. That's just my, nitpicking with him. But yeah, this the future is bright for this kid. He's young, he's fast, and he's healthy. So let's just, let's. All I'm saying is just pace the kid. Don't overwork him. Don't overuse him. Well, use him for what you need him for. Get a lot out of him and let him learn.
Got you.
So another thing that I really did see in training camp is they gave a lot of wide receivers, a chance to stand out and step up. And man, it was some wide receivers that definitely stepped out. Like I said, Cashmere Island was one of them. Pringle was another
Yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah.
He was out
Pringle.
there
Yep.
snatching. Yeah, he was snatching passes, left and right. Dax Milne had a few. So like this wide receiver group is no slouch, right? I think we have a solid wide receiver group with the first three being Terry, Curtis, and then Jahan. And then you got De'Ami Brown, and then you got Dax Milne, you got Pringle, Cashmere Island,
And
Kemp,
then if the dude
you
Tinsley
know,
too. I
yeah,
think he went to
yeah,
school with Jahan or something.
yeah, Tinsley. So, like this group, this young group of wide receivers that we have on this roster is dynamic, and it's gonna make this decision even tougher when it comes down to, the cut days and stuff like that. Um so why are we talking about training camp, right? The thing that I do want to talk about is one second, is this Ron's year?
What do you mean by that? That could be a loaded question.
So
What do you
what I
What do
mean
you
by
mean?
that is, of course, we know that there is a possibility of hold on one second. There is a possibility that Ron is gone by the end of this year with new ownership, and then possibly want to go a different direction. Eric Bieniemy probably is the next guy to take the helm as head coach, possibly, quote unquote. Is this his year to show that regardless of what happens, the narrative on him, being a uh below average coach in the NFL, do you think that, it was more of, building a roster? Because I think that, in his 4 years of being in Washington, I think he has built this roster, very well. Um, well, I think he built this roster for the next man to come in and just do the bare minimum to get this team to where it needs to be, right? And what I mean by that is when you look back, you look at his draft, his drafting really did surpass his free agency. His free agency wasn't as good, but his drafting was good. I just don't I can't see a lot of players that really didn't hit for the guys that he drafted, and the guys that he's drafted so far are still on the team, and that's like you can even say this minus two, maybe three of them, minus two, maybe three, and at least like 7, 8 guys, 7, 8, maybe 10 guys that is drafted every year. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive to be able to find something out of each one of these young guys.
That means you got a good ass
That
scouts
comes in through the
that do
draft.
their job.
Exactly, exactly. So, later on we do have, well, pretty soon actually, we do have a few guests in the building. The 405 crew, which is energetic crew, energetic bunch of fans who loves this team in section 405, seasons for the Commanders, and they are live, loud, and proud. So we're going to hear from them. We're going to ask them a few questions about how they feel so far about the new ownership, the training camp. What are the expectations? That is to come in the next 5 minutes. All right. So I just want everybody to
Let's
just
get it
stay
started.
patient.
Yeah.
Everybody just stay patient. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back to the Hog Side. We were just talking about whether it's Ron's year. Of course, it's your host, um, CJ the Hog. This is the co-host, DMV Champ Brian. And listen, man, tonight is a good night. It's Wednesday. The weather's pretty mild. Still a little humid, but it's pretty mild as well. So I do want to bring in my main man, Aaron. Aaron, what is going on? How you doing? What's popping?
They gotta fix his camera and his mic, bro.
Yo, Aaron, make sure you gotta fix your mic. All right, we'll put you back in the backstage and just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. I'm looking at you backstage. So, Aaron is having some technical difficulties right now, people.
No problem.
So, um, back to where we were.
This is Ron year. So let
Is
me.
this Ron's year?
So let me. If you want to say in a positive way, this has to be his year. Like everything that's been going on with this team within the past year, and everything, it's kind of mandatory for this to be his year, especially for us to, if he wants to still continue as a coach. But at the same time, also like you said, due to the direction of the new ownership, they're going to probably want something maybe younger or something that's more up to par with today's NFL. Because you understand, Ron is old school. He's old school, Bill Parcells type old school. So I understand in that way of method of things. But I believe this has to be his year, man. That's how I've been screaming. I've been trying to be patient. I'm not going to do the huge hoorah type of thing. Um, I really want this team to go 10-7. I want Ron to see his plans he's supposed to have work. Because you remember when he came here as a head coach, he said he had a 3 to 4 year plan, and this is year 4, and we haven't been back in the playoffs since his first year. I want to get back in the playoffs. We should have been in there last year, due to a couple mishaps, and we're not going to dispute about what happened, but due to a couple mishaps, we missed the playoffs when we was right there in the driver's seat, right in it. So yeah, has to be his year. If not, brother, it's time for him to go. He got to pack his things.
I like it. I like it. I love it. So why are we talking about, okay, he said I have to join on the phone. Okay. So why are we talking about Ron, right? I think people give him a lot more crap than he deserves. And here's my cape. Here's my cape, right?
Okay.
I'm throwing my cape on. I'm throwing my cape on for Ronald. Okay? Throwing my cape on for Ronald, people. And here's why. And so, Ron, I don't know, man. It's like Ron has dealt with a lot in Washington, right? He came into this. And I think he knew a little bit of what is going on. He knew that, hey, I'm going into this Dan Snyder thing, and I think once he got his foot in the door, it was like, whoa, wow, I didn't know it was this bad, you know. And then he got diagnosed with cancer, and that took the toll. That took a lot of toll on him. And so now you got to look back and everything that he's dealt with, from the name changing, the scandals and the narratives and things like that. There's everything that is just bottled up, and now it has just been emptied out with this new ownership. Possibly a new stadium very soon, possibly a new name. However, whatever the owners are thinking, it's new, it's fresh. Ron has the luxury of focusing on one thing on that field at a time. He's a defensive minded coach. He got his offensive minded coach where he can say, "All right, you handle the offense. I'm gonna step away. Let me focus on the defense now." You have the luxury of doing that, and when you have the luxury of doing that, you can see there's a lot of changes. So, now I'm not saying that those changes is going to show automatically, but I'm telling you guys right now, I'm confident. I think that this team is definitely like one for the books, and we won 8 games under Scott Turner. We won 8 games under Scott Turner, right? And I get that this isn't Scott Turner, but we won 8 games with Taylor Heineke under center. We won 8 games, with Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz under center. And we have Sam Howell, Jacoby Brissett as the backup. We have Eric Bieniemy. We have this studded wide receiver core that we have. We have this running back room that is so underlying spoken of, because nobody speaks of this running back room like they should, and it's definitely something to talk about. When you're talking about Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, embarking on this maybe possible third 1,000 yard rushing season.
Who?
For Antonio Gibson.
He only has one.
He only has one, right? Okay, but like just alone, Antonio Gibson, he's talented. Brian Robinson, he's talented. He lost a lot of weight. He looks more fast and agile out there on the field now. And then you bring in Rodriguez. I don't really have to talk about Jonathan Williams. Jonathan Williams is a great fill-in as well. This running back room is just nasty, and people don't talk about it a lot. We talk about,
But you can understand why though, CJ.
Exactly.
If you take AG out of that room, you got pretty much unproven commodities in the backfield. It's a community running back backfield. There's not that one dog. You know it's not.
Sure.
They're
but
young. There's nothing much about them.
Unproven commodity. But when you look at Brian Robinson, you see what he's done in Alabama. First off, Alabama's running back central. That's running back country right there. They breed dogs in Alabama when it comes to running back. Okay. So Roll Tide Roll. Of course, you guys already. If you guys didn't know it already, I'm a big fan of the Roll Tide Roll crew, right? But Brian Robinson, he's special, man. He's special, and I'm so anxious to see how things is going to turn up with this running back room. So without further ado, I see Aaron. He's live. He's ready. He's ready to go. Aaron, you ready to go? All right, so let's bring in Aaron.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up,
Mr.
man?
405 himself.
How you guys doing tonight?
I'm all right, man. How you
moving,
doing?
man? We good.
Man, I want to comment real quick on the whole Rivera thing too. I do think he has to win this year. I've always been of the opinion that he has to at least make the playoffs, and Sam Howell has to look like he can be a legit franchise QB going forward. With that being said, I've also said in spaces and other places all off season, don't underestimate the negative energy that I was around Dan Snyder being gone. Just think about your typical work environment. If it's constantly negative all the time, constant negative attention to your job, that's going to wear on you, professionally. So, me personally, I'd much rather work in a positive work environment and enjoy getting up and going to work and things like that, and put more effort into it if it's a positive effort and energy every day. That does wear on people. So I do think that means something as far as in wins and losses.
I agree.
But like I said, I do think he has to win some games. It's just I'm not of the opinion that he has to win a playoff game necessarily.
See, I'm on the same page as you. Like, everybody's like, yeah, he has to win a playoff game and able to keep his job. If he gets us back in the dance again, because it's about to go on 4 years since we the playoffs. If he gets us back in the dance again and if we go 10-7 and we're in the playoffs, even if we get put out in a wild card, I consider that a successful season. And my personal take, my standards for this team is not super high. We're not Super Bowl contenders at the moment yet. We still trying to figure things out and iron out the kinks. So at 10-7 record with a wild card appearance, I'll take that. That's a way to keep your job. You safe for another year.
Absolutely.
And like for me, like, and then at that point, if you're Ron and you're trying to sell yourself to ownership, you say, look, I've got a quarterback that's on a rookie deal. We've got $80 million in cap space going into next season. That gives you enough space to re-sign your own guys, and then do what Philly did 2 years ago after going 9-8, losing in the wild card round to Tampa Bay with Jalen Hurts. And what did they do? They went out and they pushed all of the chips in. So if you're Ron, you've got a recent example in your own division that you can point to of, look what we can do and we can now do over the next offseason to put us in that same position.
But look what you just said as well. $80 million, and that cap is going to go up. So that 80 is going to probably turn to what? 110, 120?
And you can create more. One thing that I've always pointed to, like under Snyder, is, because you have people like, well, how come the Rams can manipulate the cap but we can't? And it's like, well, the Rams owner is willing to spend cash now up front to circumvent the cap. So Dan was $1 billion in debt. He didn't necessarily have the cash to start throwing around to circumvent the cap. So it's like, everyone's like, well, just restructure this. Well, yeah, you have to have money for that.
That's true.
So when and Jubs, welcome.
What's up, bro?
Before I go
What's
on,
up? What's
Jubs,
up?
what is going on? We do
How y'all
got another
doing?
guest. We do got
We
another
good.
guest that's standing at the door right now. We're gonna let you in a minute, sir.
What?
Just bear with us. But Aaron, Mr. 405,
Yes, sir.
will you please tell us what is the 405 crew? What do you guys do, and who is the 405 crew?
So last year was my first year as a season ticket holder. And like a lot of people, I wasn't thrilled with Commanders as the name at first. And so then my brother actually had I'm a big Star Wars nerd. So my brother had this idea of the Commandalorian. So last year, I went to the games, with Mando helmet, the whole 9 yards.
That was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
And you started a damn trend. Did you know that?
I know. I know.
That's crazy. Hey, man, clap it up for him. Hell with that. So that brother smile was right here.
I appreciate
What's up,
it.
bro?
And like the funny thing is like I might be the one person that might be sentimental if the Commander's name were to be changed, because like that whole thing is what, like, you do a bunch of 3D printing and everything. I've got stuff like with the at the stadium through the team and everything, but the whole Commandalorian thing got me into doing the 3D printing. So
Dude, you started that. That's dope as hell, man.
So but through that process, I ended up meeting Juan also through our rep chance. And then Jubs, like we'd followed each other on Twitter for years. But then last year he was going to the Command Corner tailgate, and I ended up going over there. But anyway, long story short, we were in club level last year, and we decided that it wasn't necessarily worth what we were spending compared to what we would spend on the upper level. Yeah, just because we tailgate and stuff and everything, and like we don't have kids or anything like that we're bringing to games. So the free food like really came down to what made us decide. So we basically saved like $2,100 between the two of us just by moving up top.
Yeah.
Hey man, I ain't mad at it. That's the way to save, man. I ain't mad at it, bro.
You can see more of the game up there. Truthfully.
Yeah, that's true too. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like CJ, I'm gonna need you to put some work down there on that club level, because last year you were talking.
Is this happening?
You want to talk about wine and cheese crowd last year? Like I did not feel like I was in the right place.
Hey, look, section 307 in the building. You know what I'm saying?
I was in 308 last year, so Yeah, make sure liven them up a little bit down there. But we
look,
just
we got the right people. You know, we got myself, we got Twan, we
you got
got
Glenn in
Glenn,
there too, right?
we got Glenn and his wifey. You know, and I think we got somebody else that was trying to get tickets around that same line.
Now I'm just gonna throw this out there. If anybody's willing to snag me a free tendies, every once in a while,
Free attendees.
I'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, we just decided like, we're hanging out together every day. Like, let's just get our seats together.
Man, y'all building that brotherhood. It's like a fraternity, man.
That's exactly it, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, shout out to Juan. Juan couldn't be here tonight because he's at work.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about a dude that brings the energy nonstop?
Oh my God.
Juan's the guy.
Juan the guy. I cannot keep up with that dude.
I'm hoping he gets fan of the year for real.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Like, we're trying to get in the fan of the year.
DC Sports Guy 91.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So for the people who asking who is this Juan?
Everybody should know Juan by now.
Juan is the official, like when I say official, I mean like unofficial, official DC fan, like for life. Like this guy,
every team.
When I
all
say
of
this
them, all
man
the DC
goes
teams,
all out for all the DC teams. I'm talking about full gear and all. He has every set of uniform. each team in DC. I kid you not.
Nah, you're not lying. He's not lying.
Nah, that's why it's funny because it's true.
And you would think that he actually plays for the team. It's crazy, man.
Oh, 100%. Like 100%.
His Nationals get up. He looks like a Nationals player, 100%.
And look, when I tell you, like, our week one outfit has changed 10 times, like, it's changed 10 times. And it's mostly because Juan gets like, he'll see something and he'll get these ideas, like, well, what about this? What about this? And I'm like, Juan, we can't wear the whole team store. We can't do it.
I mean, you can. You can.
I mean, we can try.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go well.
All right, so we got my guy Nugs here.
DT, what's
going
on,
Hassan?
What's good? What's good?
No, just see you got the hand.
So, listen, man. I'm glad I got you guys here because now we can get our hands dirty a little bit. Okay, we got to get our hands dirty a little bit. All right. So, with our hands getting dirty, right? We got joint practices this week. Okay. So I know I've been at work a lot. I've been at work a lot this week. But I haven't really been entwined with, what's been going on. So you guys are my eyes and ears. So tell me some of the things, of course not the actual things that I've have seen, but tell me some things that you've seen as far as with the Commanders and the players. Like, what are the progress? What are some things that need to be worked on? Starting with the
O-line.
Mr. Ritz.
This is nasty. Hey, man. Hey, easy. It's BT up here, man. But from what I've seen from the O-line, I think they improved this week from what I was hearing. I think, I've been talking to a lot of people. We talked to Deuce offline, talked to CeeLo, talked to Breeze, and I came to the consensus, in my opinion, I feel like the interior is the strength of this football team right now. I think Chris Paul, he's looking like he's going to take the job. You got Nick Gates. We kind of question his athleticism. Does he still have it after the injury? I think he's still shown he can get out there and screens and stuff. And Sam Cosby, he's looking like the best offensive lineman athletically right now. So,
I told you.
Yeah.
I guarantee that dude is going to go Pro Bowl as a guard. It's you can tell, I can feel it.
Yeah, most definitely. But, I think the question's a little bit still about both our bookends. Like, let's be completely honest. Charles Little, a lot of people have been giving him flack, but, Leno's is what he is. But you really can't find nobody better as of right now unless you draft a guy. And that was, in position. We could have drafted a tackle, but, they felt the need to get Quan Martin. We still need to see what Quan Martin can do in the National Football League. And Andrew Wiley, this is a guy we signed from Kansas City who knows the offense. And, the first night preseason, came a couple bad plays, but after that, he played pretty decently. So it's really just trying to minimize the mistakes mostly by our bookends and just overall in the offensive line in general. I think they're going to be solid this year. My thing with the offensive line has always been about penalties. When we're driving 9 to 10 plays down the field, it's a crucial penalty. We can't overcome that. We have never really been a team under Rivera to overcome these penalties, which kills our drives, which is why we don't have consistency. If we can cut down on the penalties, this will be a far more effective football team under EB.
But DT, let me ask you a quick question. Now, when you say the penalties of the O-line, wouldn't that also due to maybe not grabbing during free agency tier left tackle that was available, or a guard that's up there that's available, when you would have those minimized problems of penalty holding instead of getting the guy that's, we all know, that's maybe a third or second string at best, and we could putting them in as a starter, and the expectations, they're not fully meeting the expectations. If you get what I'm saying about, like,
yeah.
What is your personal intake on that? Do you agree with that, or do you feel like, just give them time and let them continue? The more they play, the better they should combine as one as a good line.
Well, to me, when it comes about O-line building, I'm always in the direction of building homegrown talent. I like building homegrown talent. I like building guys from the jump up, even when they have some deficiency in their play. And of course, last year there was definitely some guys out there. I don't know if they really wanted to sign like Orlando Brown. Maybe he didn't want to come here. Like we never know these questions from outside the building. But I still think, they address enough of the offensive line. I would probably prefer, if I was the GM or Ron, I probably wouldn't double down on the secondary. But like I said, we still need to see what Quan Martin can do. I think he's a solid football player, but he wasn't necessarily a need, because now the question will be that I always ask, where are you going to put him on the football field? There's a lot of talented DBs so far we had in the past couple of years on the Ron. And the one thing we can say about Ron Rivera, the investment in the defensive backfield, this is so far starting to match our defensive line. With Kendall Fuller coming back from the trade, St. Juice looking good this year. Emmanuel Forbes, we spent a first-round pick to help get turnovers. Percy Butler, we drafted. He was fourth-rounder gunner. He's looking like he's going to get some snaps this year. Derek Forrest had a breakout year. And Cam Curl, he's the mainstay in that secondary. So there's a lot of hungry dogs out there, and you're going to have to find another bowl for brother Quan Martin. And, we need some guys on the offensive line too. So that remains to be seen.
I think he's gonna get his bowl soon. I think, the overall hype with Emmanuel Forbes is kind of like taking the spotlight right now. So everybody has eyes on Mr. Forbes right now, and I mean, look, it's not because of his name, it's because of his talent and what he's been showing so far. Like this kid, everybody, had an issue with his size, and he knows how to throw his size around. He ain't no pushover either. So, Quan gonna have to get in where he fit in, man. This defense is a get in where you fit in type of thing. You got to get in, and if you fit, you fit, and if you don't, you got to be another wild goose at this point.
Well, that's the thing. You always have injuries that come into play, so you never know. He might get thrusted into more plays than we actually think he might. So,
I do want to say shout out to everybody who's in the comments. I definitely appreciate y'all. Gang, I see you. We got Red Zone in the lab. We got Red Zone in here. You got my boy Twan. No More, we see you. Glenn, what it do? My boy Prez, what up, man? My man Slim. I see y'all, man. I definitely appreciate y'all. Feel free to just keep commenting. Give y'all insights. We will be reading y'all comments live on the screen as well. Of course, you see how I have this posted up here. Red Zone said, "Be easy, champ." You know what I'm saying? This is people's up here. Hey, look, don't shoot the messenger. I just want to throw that out there. But I do want to ask Jubs. I want to ask Jubs a question. So,
All right.
looking at the offense, right? And let's move the offensive line on the back burner for now, right? Let's move to the back
Okay.
burner for now. Where do you see this offense starting off in the first 5 weeks in ranking?
Oh man, I mean
That's tough.
that's yeah. You got a bunch of other
Like
offenses, other teams with
let's
new
just
offensive, new quarterbacks, new. But I would say like a faster start maybe than what they did last. I mean, that's not hard to say, but I see them being faster starters than they did the past couple of years. Where first couple drives, it's always a punt or maybe a field goal. Or, definitely a few false starts and a stall out. Hopefully all that's gone. The way EB's been, you know, on these guys, that's been a thing. But I appreciate it. You mess up, you deserve to get called out. So I see him starting faster this year than last year. At least I hope.
right. We
Dude,
also
if
got
we're
Queen
taking
Ruby
out
in
the
the
O
building.
line, I think they're gonna go nuts.
Yeah. My bad. Real quick, we got Riri in the building. She's another part of.
It's Riri.
Ray.
Sorry you couldn't be here. Would have been glad to see you here and chop it up with us, fellas. But I know that you are here in spirit, and just know that we all love you. You're our family, of course. But yeah, this offense is tricky for me. I want to be excited, but I don't want to get too excited because I'm afraid that it's going to go real slow. And if it goes real slow starting off, fans will be disappointed. I'm not
I'd
gonna
be
lie.
disappointed.
I think
I'm not
everybody
gonna
would.
lie. But
Huh?
why? Why? That's the question. The question is why would you be disappointed? And the reason why I'm asking this is you look back. It's not brand new. It's not brand new. But when you talk about the offensive coordinator versus what we had, this is um this is a different aspect. We're going from Scott Turner as an offensive coordinator to Eric Bieniemy, a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, right? So it's going to be different. Everybody isn't going to be up to speed on what Eric Bieniemy's concept is. Um, and that's just my expectations, man. I want
So
to
where
say they're
you
gonna.
rank them at? You said after week 5, where would you rank them at? We was ranked 29th or something last year in total offense. So
18,
realistically, you see us after week 5.
18,
18? I'll take that.
18.
Respectfully.
See, that'd be faster, better.
Yeah,
That'd be
and
higher
that's
than what
and
I was
that's
thinking. I was thinking more
and
like
and
22.
that's with the lack of offensive line production. Now, if Eric Bieniemy is able to scheme and mask the lack of production with this offensive line, I could see us going from 29th to maybe above 15. I can
I was
see that.
thinking about 14, 15.
Yeah,
I think so.
I can see that. I just want people to, my favorite phrase of 2022: set your expectations.
So
My favorite
I
phrase,
wouldn't
man.
be like,
BT, set your expectations, man. You gotta set them.
Come on, man. Go ahead.
I,
Man. Go ahead.
I would be a little, honestly, I think I'd be more surprised than disappointed. And the reason I say that is because you look at the fact that nobody has tape on Eric Bieniemy calling plays, really. Nobody has tape on Sam Howell. You have no tape on how Eric wants to use Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, Jahan. Like, you have no idea how he wants to use these guys. And you see it routinely in the NFL where a guy will come in with no film on what to expect. So it makes it hard for teams to game plan around that. I mean, look at the Giants. As much as we, love to joke on the Giants, they started 7-1 last season. I don't think they started 7-1 last season because of the talent level on that roster. I mean, Jim Zorn,
Ooh.
another one. Like, look at Jim Zorn. Like, as much as we hate Jim Zorn, that dude started 6-2. And then defensive coordinators and other coaching staffs caught on to what we were trying to do, and it makes it easier to shut it down. So my key has always been, I've always felt we start hot, and then we hit a lull once defenses and coaching staffs adjust to what we're doing. The key for me this season is how does Eric readjust to that adjustment at the end of the season?
Yeah.
You've got to be able to adjust the team's adjustments. So like I said, I would be almost more surprised than I would be disappointed if we started off kind of that quote unquote slow. Just because, like I said, you do see it time and time again where it just takes teams time to catch up to what you're doing.
And not only that, Aaron, when this team establishes an identity, that's when everything starts to click. You see, past couple of years, when we start winning the games, it was always with a strong running game. The defense starts to click. They made the adjustments with Jack Del Rio and Ron, and special teams help out. Now you got a guy who nobody's gonna know. Instead of looking back at what Kansas City, what EB gonna do, EB's gonna modify this offense to his liking because he knows he's gonna have different playmakers over here than what he had at Kansas City.
100%.
We don't have a Kelsey or Mahomes, but our wide receiving core, as of right now, is way better than Kansas City. The running game has been a little bit of staple. Big running back, power running game, could be gap, some zone, things like that. And you have a mobile quarterback with a strong arm to make all the NFL throws. So this is going to be something that teams are going to have to realize how they're going to stop, just like what Philadelphia did. When Philadelphia went on that streak, everybody was having a hard time to stop them. And I could definitely see that, especially early in the season when teams are trying to figure out who EB is.
Yeah, so that's almost one of my biggest keys to the season is you like I said, the like you said, the counterpunch. But the other thing for me too, like on both sides of the ball, I'd be a little bit surprised. Just the overall intensity the teams practice with all throughout camp. To me, I feel like that should lend itself to, starting a little bit faster.
No, that's a very good valid point because, like, we all know since Ron been here, this team has the tendency has been a repetitive thing of them starting slow, and we don't normally pick things up to week 6 or week 8, and then every single game we play every week, we at the edge of our seats because every game counts. I'm on the same page with you guys. For once, I would like us to start this season at least realistically at 500 or better. So when those back games towards the back, we already got the chunk meat up front. We just got to win a couple more games to get in. Instead of you got to win every single game. Every single game towards the back end feels like a playoff game. So that will be very the pivotal point, as everybody's saying, is starting out fast. Due to the schedule, we got to start out fast because the back end of that schedule it's going to be a little tough because you're playing some teams with some good top 10, top 5 defense, and this offense is going to have to get clicking. It has to be complementary football in order for us to win these games realistically.
And to that point too, real quick, like I hate bringing the Giants up again. Like if you look at them last season, after they started 7-1, they won 2 games the rest of the season. They won 2 games and had a tie. And that was enough to get them into the playoffs.
They're surprisingly average.
They are.
I'm gonna be 100% real, and people can call it delusion. You can call it whatever you want. Giants will be dead last this season.
Oh no, I agree with you 100%.
I
Here's
just want to
why.
play them. I just want us to play them and,
I know,
and
I
punch
do
them in the
too.
face.
Like,
That's plain
I
and
want,
simple.
I want reality to set in, right? And here's the reality. The reality is, you tied against us. Second game, you beat us in a state where it was go big or it was go home.
Well,
And
and you
hold
needed
on,
some calls to do that.
True.
and yeah,
Sean calls.
I'm not even gonna bring the refs into this. You got Taylor, you got Taylor Heineke. You got Taylor Heineke, who was very inconsistent, regardless of the 7-1 stretch that he had. He was very inconsistent. Upon being very inconsistent, he lacked a true NFL arm. And it's, of course, yes, we were chanting Heineke, 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 but the reality is Heineke just wasn't good enough. And sometimes you have to look back, you got to smell the roses. And those roses were rosebuds at the time. Now it's fully blossomed. And now who we're looking at? We're looking at Sam Howell, right? Sam Howell, he has the arm. He has the mental capacity. He has the ability to move outside of the pocket when he needs to. So it'll be very different. It's going to be different. Reality was set in for the New York Giants. Um, they're going to be dead last this season. I don't see them winning over 7 games this season as well. That's my prediction. I do see us winning 10 to 11 games this season. As far as the schedule goes, I have us beating the Cardinals. I have us going to Mile High and upsetting the Broncos. I have us losing against the Bills.
I'm going to that game.
We're going to take the first game against the Eagles. We're going to punch Justin Fields in his mouth. Okay, we're going to show Taylor Heineke that you are who you are. Desmond Ritter as well.
Well, Taylor will be starting by then.
Daniel Jones is not going to be the same anymore. You're not going to be running all over us. You're not. You don't have any wide receivers. So again, we're gonna take the Giants. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 7-1. 7-1 going into the end of October.
Who are we losing to?
The Bills,
Okay. Okay.
and I think that's going to be a close game.
I do too,
Um,
actually.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. We're gonna sweep one of these. We're gonna sweep at least 2 of these teams in our division. At least
So
2.
you got us going 4-2 in our division?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I know everybody's high on Dallas. I think Dallas takes a step back.
It's gonna be
Dude,
no.
Dak
It's gonna be
looks
3-0.
bad.
It's gonna be 3-0. Yes, we're gonna be 3-0 in the division by the end of October. That's my prediction.
All right,
And
keep going.
some I'm gonna stop there because I know some people like, oh, CJ's delusional. CJ don't know what he's talking about, right? So here's why CJ says what he says, right? The second game against the Eagles last season, and I hate to bring up last season because it's a whole new year. And both teams has improved significantly, but again, things has changed. I see that things has changed differently in Washington. So they're gonna come in. They're gonna come into the stadium thinking, "Oh, it's just Washington. It's just Washington."
Hmm.
Well, it's not just Washington. So
That's
what's gonna
that's
happen? What's gonna happen is we're gonna beat the Eagles. We're gonna be 8-1 at the end of October. 3-0 in the
7-1.
division. 7-1.
7-1.
Wait,
Yeah,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah,
that
7-1.
that'd be
Thank you.
great. That'd be crazy. This area would be crazy.
In the second half of the season, it gives us a chance to lose those games that gets away from us, right? It gives us those chance to lose those games a little bit to get away from us, but we can still make the playoffs and grab a seed that sits well for us, right? This is where we go back into the second half of the season. Uh, we the game gets away from us with the Patriots. We beat
I
Seattle.
disagree on that one.
I'm
beat
disagreeing with you
Seattle.
just a
Think-
tad bit on that, but keep going. I don't want to interrupt you. Keep going.
Go ahead.
We beat Seattle. We kicked the Giants' ass once again. The Cowboys, yeah, we is that at Dallas? No,
Yeah,
that's
I
home.
think that's the Thanksgiving game. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going into Dallas and we're gonna show them the boss. The Dolphins. I'm excited to be at that game because my boy Zach Champ, you know Zach, he will be in the building as well. So I'll be glad to see them choke. I'll be glad to see them choke with two of the best dynamic wide receivers on their squad. And Mike McDaniels is just as average as they come. I'm calling it. The Rams. We're going to lose that game. The Jets.
Okay.
The Jets. I feel like that's the game that's going to get away from us. I think what's going to happen is Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers and it's going to be fighting for a playoff spot. And if anybody knows Aaron Rodgers fighting for a playoff spot, it's going to be a hard game. All right. The 49ers.
Not to interrupt, but I feel like we're already in the playoffs at 12-2 at this point.
Absolutely.
CJ, that's a tough
So
stretch,
are we
bro.
resting people or what? You know what I mean? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
but are we resting guys
so
against Aaron Rodgers?
once we clinch playoffs, yes, we're going to rest players. So we won't see Chase Young. We
I mean,
probably
at that
won't
point, we're
see
playing for the one
Sam
seed.
Howell. We probably won't see Sam Howell. You know, there's going to be some guys that we don't see. Probably don't.
Hold on.
see
So you saying by the Jets game we're gonna be resting players?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Boy.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to get Nugs' prediction after this.
I hope everybody that's watching this is screen recording this because we're gonna talk about this in the chat tomorrow, man. That's. Whoo.
You definitely
believe
need Hassan's prediction after this, CJ.
Crazy.
Yo,
So
I
why
see
can't
us.
we?
I
Why can't we
see
win
us
12 games? Why not Washington?
all right, this is why I'm
I
calling.
mean-
Full circle. Why not Washington?
That's a stretch, bro.
Is it? We won 8
And the
games.
reason why I'm implementing is because I'm always thinking realistically and logically. I'm thinking about injuries. Our team is known to have injuries, especially on the trenches.
Yeah.
That can cause problems.
But our training staff has proven to be able to get these guys on the field as soon as possible without rushing it. So that's why I'm not worried about. I'm not as worried about injuries as everybody else is, right? It's to be honest with you, people say that these matchups are more difficult. I don't see it that way. You know, yes, the teams are different. Yes, these teams last year were much better. But looking at how these teams, did in the offseason, are they any much better than what they were last year? And when I'm looking back at it, the Broncos, no. Even if they do got Sean Payton, no. The Bears, no. The Bills, they barely did anything. The Falcons, not really. The Giants, not really. The only teams that is up here that really did anything to improve their offseason were the Jets, the Eagles, and that's it.
Not the Dolphins,
Everybody else just did the bare minimum. What did the Dolphins do?
bro. They got a defense. They got some defensive talent over there now, and they got Vic Fangio.
They got Eli Apple.
I ain't trying.
That's a nasty counterpoint.
Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Tua. I'm not a Tua believer, but there's a lot of damn talent on both sides of that ball.
I feel you.
Yeah, but I will say this: like, have you ever seen videos of their O line? It may be worse than it. it looks like it's a lot worse than our
Yeah.
situation.
They're
True,
going
true.
to get
After
eaten
that,
alive, bro. I'm telling you. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested to seeing Emmanuel Forbes going toe to toe with Tariq Hill. I'm interested in seeing that matchup. I am.
Oh, jeez, that's gonna give me nightmares, CJ. Thanks.
I'm interested in that matchup.
hey
And like I
DT, quick
said,
question, bro.
like I'm
What is
always
your
saying,
predictions on this record?
lockdown.
Okay, so
No.
I had us at like 9-8, but still getting in the playoffs.
Now you
Now,
hear what I said, right? Now
yeah,
you see.
this is the thing. When you look at the schedule, I have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flip games up here, and that's Denver, the Bills, New England, Seattle, and you have the 49ers. I feel like those games can go either way. And the best thing about it is we cashed Denver and the Bills early. And there's still questions about New England, how their offense is going to look. And we all know how Bill Belichick is against young quarterbacks. But I think EB is going to get Sam very prepared enough to combat Bill Belichick. And we
Talk
look at
about
the
it.
49ers, we're very built just like them. We lost
Yeah.
because of we didn't lose because of bad quarterback play. We lost because we gave up big plays. I think our defense is going to be healthy enough because we talked about the DVs. I think the depth will help us throughout the season defensively, and we can combat the 49ers better because I don't think Brock Purdy is some crazy quarterback. I think he's basically a Jimmy G with a little bit more moxie.
Man, you better be careful. The Taylor, the Taylor
Hold on.
haters hate that word.
Hey Nugs, you've been quiet,
said
bro. What's your
moxie.
predictions, man?
Shoot, man. I don't see an L on this schedule for real.
What?
I genuinely believe.
I knew it was
Hold
coming.
on, give him the floor. I want to hear your reason. You got the floor. I want to hear it. You got the
I
floor,
knew it was
man.
coming.
What do we need? Like you guys were talking about at our ceiling is 15th best offense. With our defense, that gets it done. And I think Sam's got a higher ceiling than that, especially with the point of no tape on him. I genuinely, man, I think we got it.
What is happening right now?
So you seeing us going 17-0?
No, like you said, by the Jets game, we're gonna be sitting our starters.
20-0, baby. Don't get me started.
Man, y'all is wild, yo.
So
God,
wait, you
wow.
don't think if we got to 16-0, we would chase the perfect record?
Get the Kool-Aid.
What is?
I drank all the Kool-Aid last year, and I
We
overdosed.
did. Let me ask
Oh,
this.
I
Actually,
drink it every year.
like
I
just
think
out
y'all
of
crazy. I'm
curiosity,
just playing along.
when did they lose their first game in Carolina the year they went 15-1?
At the end.
Oh, they lost in the playoffs, right?
No, they lost in the Super Bowl, but they went 15-1 in the regular season.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out when that loss happened.
I think it was like the second or second to last game.
I cannot remember. That's a good question. I can't remember.
No, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, when did Ron Rivera? Did they sit their starters?
Yeah, I don't think Cam played.
Remember the year he got fired?
No. The year they went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl.
No, Cam didn't sit. Cam played those last few games.
Did he?
Yeah.
They might have chased it.
So what
but I'm
game
trying
did
to
they
figure out
lose?
who
What
they
week
lost.
did they lose?
It was the second to last game against Atlanta.
And that was when Atlanta was good.
That was a divisional game. Makes sense.
That was like when Ryan was playing his best ball.
That was after they beat the Giants 38-35, the Odell versus Norman game.
Oh man, oh yeah.
So emotions were probably high.
So
they might would do it. They might would chase it.
Hold on. So go back to that schedule, CJ. So J-Dubs, it's your turn, bro. What is your prediction?
What's up? Well, I'm sorry. My wife just walked in.
No, you good. I'll say, what was your prediction, man? Because I want to hear everybody's prediction, man. And I just so far I only heard one realistic one.
Let's see. Yeah, I got us at least going 3-3 in the first 6.
Okay.
And 2 of those wins will be divisional. But then we lose to the Eagles. They get the second one. And then Patriots, they do the Patriot thing, somehow beat us. We beat the Seahawks. Again, no, I think we sweep the Giants this year. I really do. I think they take, all that hype.
Man, say it with more
crap.
confidence, man. We're going to sweep it. Grab the brim for them blue boys.
We're going to sweep the Giants this year. There you go. Where are we at now?
November 23rd.
Yeah, Dallas, the Thanksgiving game, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think I hate to say it, but I think Dallas beats us on Thanksgiving. What? Yeah, I think they do. Something happens. We missing somebody key or something happened. Something happened.
Okay.
Hear this?
That'll be the controversial game. We're all blaming the refs and yelling at the TV and Twitter blows up. I mean, you know how it goes. We got to have one of those.
All right, I can give you that.
So,
Dolphins game, I don't know. I like Tua, but I don't think he makes it through the year. Not to hate on the dude. Like, I really like the guy, but that was a lot of concussions. Like, he reminds me of Jordan Reed, like just made of glass. Beat the Rams. They're going to be in shambles near the end of the year. Jets beat. I agree. The Jets with Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
And then Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. He's always had our number. Like ever since we fired his dad.
We're gonna beat the 49ers.
He quit on us.
We're gonna beat the 49ers. Because if it ain't Trey Lance, if it ain't Sam Darnold, then who is it?
Okay, I can deal with that.
I'm gonna say this
and
though.
then I don't know where that put us at, but I think we're all good at the end of the year. And the Dallas game, I think both teams aren't really going to be trying, and it's just going to be boring.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here.
We'll give it to whomever. Toss up.
Brock Purdy is just one of those things where it gets overhyped, and you put him out there, and he looks like Brucey from The Longest Yard.
Hey, DT, you was about to say something, bro. What was you about to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say also like this. When I look at the main reason why I said 9-8, but it could potentially be higher. I think we're gonna win a lot of our games in the NFC based on talent alone and the coaching. So if we go, let's say we split with Dallas and the Eagles, but we sweep the Giants. We go 4-2 in our own division.
Talk about it.
You play Atlanta. You play the Cardinals. You play the Bears, and you play the Rams. I think we're better than those teams, and we can get that. That's 4 wins right there. So that's 8. If we can win those flip games and those main games in the AFC, those games will probably push us to those 10, 11 wins that we're trying to see.
All right. I see us going 10-7 realistically. Week 1, I see us beating the Cardinals. Week 2, I see us barely beating the Broncos, but we're gonna get a win at mile high. The Bills game, I believe we can beat them, but I also feel that's one of those games where nobody has us winning, like the Eagles from last year. Right, no one has us winning, and we're gonna get a W on that. That first Eagles game, I think they're gonna beat us. The October the 5th game. Now, that's a toss-up game and the reason why I'm stressing that out is because we struggle with scrambling quarterbacks. Our defense, for some reason, struggles. And I'm not gonna say we can't win it, but I'm skeptical about that game. The Falcons game is interesting because we normally got their number, but I don't see Rittler making it that far. So it's gonna be Taylor Heineke we're gonna have to go up against. That's going to be super interesting. That game is going to either piss us off or we're going to get the W. This is the first Giants game. I believe we're going to go in there and beat the brakes off of them. I'm tired of them. The Eagles game, that's our revenge game. We're gonna come back and win that game. The New England game is tricky. I kind of feel like that's a toss-up because Bill Belichick their defense is going to be ready to play. The offense, I'm skeptical about. But if our defense is healthy and we ain't got no major injury to like certain players, I can see us getting a W. Seattle, we're gonna go up there and beat them again. The Giants, I believe their fans is going to still be talking trash, and we're going to beat them, and it probably be with a field goal. That Cowboys game on Thanksgiving, I think we're going to spank their ass, and we're going to have good fried turkey and celebrate that day. The Dolphins game is what I kind of want to go to that game because of the hype of the Dolphins. So that's another toss-up game, but I think we can probably maybe squeak that out. The Rams game, this is going to be a game where we think we're cocky, especially after beating the Dolphins. We're going to probably get cocky and think our shit don't stink, and that could be a trap game, and the Rams can beat us. The Jets game, I really, 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 really want us to go smack at them. I want them to know that they're the fucking Jets. That's all they are. I want us to let them know, like, y'all the Jets, man. Stay in your place. I really want that game the most. And the 49ers game, they've been having our number, but they don't never blow us out. Besides, last year they did towards the second half. But I think that's a revenge game, and I think that last Cowboy game might be the determining factor for us to get into the playoffs or one of the teams. You know how the end division games go. It's whoever wins gets in, the other one goes home. I think we're going to be in a scenario of that. So that's my realistic way I see us winning 10-7, going 10-7 with that.
I got a question.
Go ahead, bro.
Have we ever beat Sean McVay since he left?
Yeah,
we did.
We beat him. We beat him when we had Jay Gruden.
The first year after he left, we beat him in L.A.
Right.
Kirk Cousins and Chris Thompson went off that game, and Mason Foster picked up Jared Goff at the end.
Okay. I miss Mason Foster, man.
That's nasty.
Hey DT, hey, look, man, man. I miss my guy. You know what I'm saying? Mason Foster was a true linebacker.
We had a linebacker since London Fletcher, bro.
Amen.
So let's talk about this scuffle in Baltimore. At the practice, man. What happened? Like, how did it get to it? Like, how did it get here?
So from what I
understand, which one?
like,
which scuffle? Like... The Forbes scuffle or the Andrew scuffle?
You know what? I forgot about that.
This almost said Andrews must be somewhere
going on
this
there?
Almost said Mark Andrews must be somewhere down there.
Almost
said Mark Andrews must be somewhere down there. Almost said Mark Andrews must be somewhere down there. Almost said Mark Andrews must be somewhere down there.
All right. I'm gonna say something before everybody else go ahead. That particular point right there, I was pissed at Cody Barton. I understand you a newbie. I play football. I'm pretty sure you guys played football before too. Football's a fraternity. You my brother. You want to scruffle? We fucking fighting. Fuck them. Him coming up trying to play the peer mediator role. Come on, guys, stop. This ain't hell with that. I look at him funny with that. I look at him funny, bro, about that.
The reason why is because you don't want fines to come out. You don't want to get suspended before the season actually starts.
Okay, but CJ, put yourself in Emmanuel's shoes for 1 second.
No.
He's a rookie. I want to know if my team players got my back, bro.
No. Listen.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like jail.
I hear what you're saying.
You're gonna have to go ahead and fight somebody, even though you're gonna get thrown in isolation for a little bit. It's like
this, right? It's like this, right? Let's say you buy a boxer, right? Let's say you buy Logan Paul, right?
Buy what?
All right, let's say you buy Floyd Mayweather in his prime, right? And you get a chance to buy 5 other boxes to have in your camp, right? And let's say if one of those boxes get in a fight, and they all get in a fight, and they start fighting, and they all get suspended before the actual, the fight's supposed to happen. Now you got to cancel. You got to get all this money away because of this fight. And this is what it was for Emmanuel Forbes. It's like, nah, bro, like don't give it any more than what it is, because we don't want you to get suspended. Because if you get suspended, then what? Then what? Then what? We gonna rely on Rashad Wildgoose? This is what we're gonna do? I'm
Hey
sorry.
now, hey now, hey
I
now.
can see if
look,
he
No,
threw the
wait.
first
I
punch,
think I
DJ.
remember
He
something.
didn't
Can
throw the
you
first
get
punch.
suspended in practice?
don't
Like the
matter.
team has to suspend you, right? Not the NFL.
The NFL can suspend you before the team does, though. Especially how egregious it gets. Like for instance, that Donnell Mooney and Chauncey Gardner Johnson scuffle, when dude actually like threw the punch, and I think the NFL was like, yeah, nah, you can't do that. You get fined. You get fined automatically. You threw the first punch. So that is, but I'm glad that Defoe and Montez Sweat came through. Was like, hey man, look, chill out, y'all. We why can't we all get along? At the end of the day, it's football. It's football, y'all. It's football. But it ain't enough to be fighting. You ain't gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that Emmanuel Forbes was able to throw a little, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the Mark Andrews fight. I'm like, man, hey Jamin.
Like, he straight suplex dudes. Like, he
Man,
knew
we
from
should
the
have
start he
Ridgeway
wasn't
go and
supposed
do
to be
it.
doing that.
The Andrews.
Somebody said Jamin laid a hit on Mark Andrews. I looked at it, I was like, man, that thing was
All he did
soft.
was chip him, pretty much.
Yeah, he stood his ground. He said, "I'm standing right here. You're not running any further." That's all he did.
Like if he'd have laid him out, like, yeah, I get it, but he didn't.
He wasn't gonna lay him out.
But see, another part I'm upset
But
about
Mark
too is
Andrews straight grabbed dudes and
Dummerville
slammed them
did
on
that
the
coward stuff, bruh. He want to run, and when nobody was looking, and come behind Forbes and just slam him to the ground. Like, this is what I'm saying.
It's hot
Martin,
out. It's hot
dog,
outside. It's hot outside. Temperatures are flaring. Hey, look, you try to be out there in 95-degree weather. You know what I'm saying, against the team that you don't like.
I mean, I will say that I still thought Odell Beckham was number 13, so I may have said some choice words about Odell Beckham, and it wasn't even OBJ.
I'm the real 13. But man, like I like stuff like this though. You know what I'm saying? And what I didn't like was whoever number 13 was on the Ravens decided to come behind Ford and slam it to the ground like that.
that was Dummerville.
Devin Duvernay.
Yeah, that's who I thought was OBJ.
Oh yeah, Duvernay. Yeah, but that was lame, bro. That's what I was telling you. That was lame.
Yeah.
And then you had that whack Giants
That
fan
ain't
talking
cool.
shit about it. And
Yeah, that ain't cool, man. You gotta do better. You gotta
he was getting under their skin apparently though, because they was getting really mad.
Because the reason why is everybody knows when you play in Baltimore, you either match their physicality or you outmatch them. There's a physical team. You got to come with it. You can't come with
What they physical at?
Who? The Ravens?
Who?
Bro, the Ravens, that's what they built off, bro.
That's
Don't act like this is brand new.
Man,
they always physical, bro.
Man,
come on, CJ, nah, bro.
Bro, CJ always do that, bro.
Bro, come on,
man, y'all acting like this the Super Bowl Ravens or something, bro.
No one's saying that,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they all pro physical, but they physical.
That's just their brand of football. Hard
Thank you. That's who they are.
Hey man, look, bro.
Like the Steelers, it's all the them two teams.
They've been soft too lately.
See, I'm just gonna hush, man. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Saying, man, look. Hey, look, man. I got.
Look, I'm gonna just eat my dinner. All right.
Look, I got some things that I just want to like just hit in the mouth, man. And the Ravens is one of them. That's why, man. Look, I just want them in the regular season so bad, bro. Like I'm tired of this preseason stuff, bro. I want it to be a win for us, bro.
Bro, we beat them the last 2 times.
I don't care. I want to keep.
We play them next year, right? Is it next
Yeah.
year?
Mm-hmm. We beat them the last 2 times. We beat them in 2012 and we beat them in 2016. Yes, bro. We beat them in 2012. Kirk Cousins came in and saved us. And then then 2016, we beat them again. We beat them by the skin of our ass, but we won.
I mean, yeah, bro. But all I'm saying is, bro, like I want to hit them where it hurts, bro. Like I don't like the Ravens. I don't like them birds.
I ain't got no beef with them.
I will say this.
I hear you, bro.
I do. I don't like none of the birds in the NFL, bro. They're all annoying, bro. Cardinals
I ain't got
fans
no
are
beef with
annoying.
them.
The Eagles fans are
I'm
really
actually bringing
annoying.
2 Ravens fans to the game.
Man, you didn't tell me that, Jubs.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
I wanted to send you the ticket, man.
Look, he was the best man in my wedding. All right.
I'm just kidding, man.
He's a Redskins fan too.
Hold on, though. I gotta hear from Ravens fans that they the better team in Maryland.
Shit. Good boy.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to play right now.
So speaking to that though, like one thing I did notice yesterday, and I said it in the chat too. Like Trail brought up the point that normally after we leave these practices, that we're kind of getting laughed at. I felt like we came out of that with respect over the last 2 days, and to me that kind of says a lot, especially because of your point, CJ, like about the way Ravens fans talk about us. Like to me, that kind of said something, that there was like we weren't getting laughed at or trash talk. Like it was a mutual, like a respect coming out of that over the 2 days. So like to me, that says something too.
What about today? Them zooming in on everything, not showing the field like they did yesterday. Like, come on,
They
man.
didn't want to see. They didn't want to see Terry terrorizing Marlon Humphreys again.
I mean, he was out. He supposedly Humphrey got surgery on his foot. He's out for a couple, like a month or something.
I like the way Nugs think, man. 20-0.
I knew that prediction was coming. I knew it was coming.
I'll never say anything different. There's not a football team that can beat us if we don't, except for ourselves. That's all we ever do is beat ourselves.
I agree with you on that.
True. That is true. That is actually a valid point. That is actually valid.
That is valid.
It really is.
Like when we lose games, we don't lose games because we're like the lesser team. We lose games because we beat ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we won't allow 150 yards in the first half, then come in the second half and allow 350 yards. Like what? What?
Well, like,
DC, what you thinking? DC, you say you look like you got a lot on your mind, man.
Well, yes, sir.
DC look like he texting a booty call or something.
No, I'm in the group chat trying to catch up all day. I ain't been in here, but
got you.
Bro, I don't really care about the fights and stuff like that, bro. Like it is what it is. Like it's football. Like they ain't been going against other people.
See my man Dax Milne out there throwing blows too, man.
Huh?
I heard he was giving middle fingers to coaches. The defensive players.
I heard that.
The only Dax Milne's gonna get in his pocket because he's gonna get cut. That's the only one.
Yeah, all right.
Look, man, hey, I'll give this for Dax Milne. Like, that man said he'll do anything to make the team. He was out there holding kicks. Probably would have served everybody water if you asked him to. Like, he said, whatever I got to do to make this team, I'll do it, coach.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold the brother. He trying to be successful. He trying to survive. We all know it's hard to stay on the squads. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Let me say this, man. All I can say is Dax Milne is like one of the best wide receivers that gets a lot of crap thrown at him on the team that deserves a spot on the team because he's done.
How many wide receivers do you think we keep this year?
Hey, DC, don't go silent on him, man. You said what? What'd you say, Jubs?
Dax Milne is a bum.
I said, how many wide receivers you think we keep this year? And who you think makes it?
Dax Milne can catch. I give you that. He got hands. I give it to you. He can catch, but he's slow. There's no agility. no separation.
Like you say, like that's my
He
thing.
can catch though.
Y'all
He
say
has
he's
no
slow, right?
field
He's
vision.
definitely gonna be a Patriot.
Y'all say he's slow, but then when De'Ami Brown caught the same pass, had to turn it up. That man looks slow, bruh. So I'm like, what is it? What is it, yo? Like,
CJ, I'm normally joking about the Dax Milne slander, but you do not want me to bring up yards per catch right now.
I mean, obviously
My question is, look, after De'Ami, who do you keep? You got to keep somebody.
That's Juan's wide receiver 4, by the way.
So you got Pringle as 5, maybe.
He's making the team, bro.
And then who's 6? Who's 19? Kemp? I think that's his name, Kemp.
I'm about to say either Tinsley or Kaiser Allen. Casimir Allen, if I said it correctly.
Here's the thing, right?
Well, Casimir might make it because of his special
Casimir
teams.
might not
ability.
make it. Casimir might not make it, right?
I think Casimir is going to get put on the practice squad, is what I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that happening.
Nobody's gonna go out their way to get Casimir Allen just for a return. Just for a return job. There's no.
And we haven't really shown anything of it, at least as of yet in preseason.
And as far as Kemp, he's just another practice, another training camp body to me. You know what I'm saying? I really haven't heard much.
He a big dude, though. I mean,
so is
who's
Cam
our
Sims,
tall
though.
guy? Like Cam Sims is gone. He was our tall guy. Like,
I mean, do you really need a tall guy though? When
Pringle's not tall though.
With
Pringle's
Terry?
not tall. Pringle's
We're
not tall.
talking about Kemp. We're talking about Kemp.
Oh,
Pringle's like
Kemp.
6'1".
Yeah, how tall is Kemp?
Kemp is 6'4".
Oh, I don't know.
Kemp's taller.
With those tall players.
Yeah, I don't know. Kemp looked big in practice. That's all I can say.
I don't know how that cornerback ain't stick with him, bro. That man route runner was like molasses, bro. Like when that cornerback failed, I was like, man, that's crazy, bro. Come on, bro. I could have stuck on him, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like that's crazy, bro. that man route runner was like molasses, bro. But he made the catch. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm gonna ask y'all this last question. Well, not actually a question. It's more of a thing that we do. Early hot and cold takes. We heard some of them already. By my man Nugs over here.
Yeah, he said no. Good call.
Super cold.
20-0.
Early hot and cold takes. I got one, and that is by the end of the season, Howell would be a top 8 quarterback inside of the league.
Ooh, okay. Mr. Aaron, you go ahead. I'm gonna go last. I got to think.
I've got one or two. You want a really hot take?
Sure.
By the end of the season, Daniel Jones is the 5th best quarterback in the division.
You said 5th.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's behind Brissett.
Bro.
Oh man. Okay. Hey, what's your code take?
Wait, you're saying Jacoby gets to play then?
Well, yeah. If we're sitting starters, who's gonna play? Who's gonna play a quarterback?
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true.
Bro, before I even go, I just need to acknowledge the amount of anger that Aaron has had this offseason for the New York Giants is absolutely hilarious, bro. I have never seen a man look for every data, every
no, like, and that's the thing. I don't even look for it; it just pops up on my timeline. Like I keep trying to tell Jubs and Hassan, like they need to get these
up at the appropriate time and moment for you, buddy.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's like you mind your business, and then boom, Giants fans say something about the Commanders.
Man, like I would like. Let me put it this way: like I hopped into Nix's space the other day, right? And is it Tina that's the Giants fan?
Yeah.
So she's in the space, and they're talking about week 1, and then all of we don't even have any speakers. And Tina is just like, I don't know what's going to happen week 1, but I know we're going to smash those Commanders when we play them. Like, it's just like we wouldn't, like, nobody's even talking about us right now, and you're bringing this up.
His was real and his was true. All right, his was real and his was true. First off, the Giants won't beat us. Okay, that's first thing.
At all?
At all,
No.
the Giants won't beat us at all. Daniel Jones is overrated. That's second. And Brian Dable is not him. Okay, sorry, not him. You couldn't get further into the playoffs with Josh Josh Allen. You think you're going to do anything with Daniel Jones?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Your best effort was the AFC Championship. That was your best effort. Your best effort. And you couldn't do it. You couldn't hold a candle to Andy Reid. Couldn't hold a candle. So if you couldn't go further than that with Josh Allen, and he did go to the playoffs. He went to the divisional round, right? With Daniel Jones. And this is as far as you get with Daniel Jones. You won't get as far as that. You won't get as far as that. And people might be looking at it like, I don't know, CJ, you can't say that. Yeah, I can. Because that's just who I think he is.
To your point,
I don't think he's the coach to get the quarterback, over the hump like that.
But to that point, this isn't even trolling. Like, I don't know if there is getting Daniel Jones. Like, to me, Daniel Jones' ceiling is basically Alex Smith. Basically, if you put enough of a team around him,
Alex Smith like that.
Whoa, no. Alex Smith was a dog.
But listen. But Alex Smith. Oh, what did Alex Smith do? Alex Smith
like that.
How many AFC championships he go to with the Chiefs? He made us look like beasts for how.
But the reason why they got Patrick Mahomes was because Alex Smith could not push them above the pedestal.
Correct. So Alex Smith was the type of guy that if you put weapons around him and a team around him, he's not going to lose you games.
Come on,
and I think people do underestimate how valuable that is. Like, but like if you put the pieces around Daniel Jones, especially if you can continue cutting down on his turnovers the way they did last year, then he's not going to necessarily lose your games. But he's also 9 times out of 10 not going to be the reason you win games either.
Disrespect for Alex
you have to have but my point is, CJ, is that's his ceiling. He's not there yet. And there's no guarantee that he gets there.
I think
he's not gonna. I'm gonna give Daniel Jones the benefit of the doubt as I gave Jacoby Brissett. You're not gonna be better than you were last season. Last season was your chance to get over to show who you were.
But that's kind of my point, though. They got the divisional round, didn't they?
I know I shouldn't say that because he's still young. He's not in his prime yet. But I don't know, man. I think like you had the coach, you got the coach, and I still think he played subpar average. I think he still plays subpar average ball. He wasn't good.
To the point, part of the point, for example, even dating back to college, he's never had a yards per attempt above 7. Like if you date back to college, his yards per attempt between college and the NFL is 6.4.
Sheesh.
So did these stats just pop up on your timeline again, or did you have them ready?
No, I just got I just got to memorize at this point. But if you go I looked looked the other day.
Just wait, big boy.
There were only 4 teams in the NFL with a quarterback with a yards per attempt last year that made the playoffs. And one was Lamar Jackson, who runs the ball, so it makes up a little bit of the difference. Daniel Jones, who runs the ball and makes up a little bit of the difference. Then Tom Brady, who made it with a losing record in the NFC South, and a statistical anomaly in Justin Herbert, who had a monster year despite having a bottom 5 yards per attempt in the NFL. Like, it matters. You have to push the ball as a quarterback.
Well, he got a lot of dump offs to Eckler, so that's probably why that.
Yeah, they've got a lot of weapons that get yards after the catch, so you don't necessarily have to have him push the ball.
All right. If I had to do a hot take, I just came on one. I think this is going to be the year, and quote me on this. I really honestly believe this is going to be the year that both of our safeties, Defoe and Cam Curl, are both going to get Pro Bowl nominated this year.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel that way because I think Cam Curl should have got in last year. Especially he's been high rated as the top safety in the league, considered one of them top high safeties in the league. I feel like he should have got in. But I think this is going to be the year these guys going to get some respect. As a coach, go ahead.
Do you think we extend Curl or he gets away from us?
That's a good goddamn question, bro. I honestly think they're going to keep him because he's consistent in how important he is to the defense. I really see they're going to probably keep him. But my personal only intake about Cam Curl is he don't cause or get enough turnovers. He's a hell of a tackler. He does read the offense and makes plays when it's time to come. But as becoming a turnover machine, I don't know how round I'm going to act, but I will keep him. That's just me. That's just me personally. Right. But I think both our safeties going to get some respect this year.
Here's another hot take that I had. I'm
CJ, don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous.
Reaction. Now I'm looking at DT's face right now, and he's like, "That would CJ."
I want to hear his too, though. I was waiting for to hear his next, though.
Brian Robinson will have 1,100 yards rushing.
Okay, I can realistically see that.
That was
right. That's not too crazy.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
You got to go higher than that, CJ. Come on.
And here's my last one.
Nah, don't get CJ. Nah, don't get him started. Nah.
No, it's true. I have two.
I want to hear like Dax Milne has more touchdowns than Devontae Adams or something. Come on.
No. Here's my last one though. My last one is
I'm coming.
Jamin Davis will be a top 5 linebacker by the end of the season.
Ooh.
Boy, that's cold. That's cold as hell. That's Sub-Zero cold. That's cold.
How's it cold?
You say he's going to be considered a top 5 linebacker, outside linebacker, or inside?
Outside.
He's gonna have to get blitzed a lot to hit that status, my man. He's gonna have to get used in blitzing packages.
Trust me.
Yeah, I got one.
Jackie D got some blitzes.
Chase Young will be in the Defensive Player of the Year discussion by the end of the year.
I think he's gonna be in the comeback player of the year position though. Can he win both though?
Damar Hamlin.
That's a hot take there.
That's kind of that's
I don't think, but see, like I don't think it's that hot though, because like if he gets 11 or 12 sacks and continues like forcing fumbles and stuff like that, the way he has, like I mean, look at last year with. Granted, I'm not necessarily comparing Chase to Micah Parsons right now, but Micah was in that discussion at the end of the year, despite having 6 less sacks than Nick Bosa, because of the other things that he was doing, like impacting games, forcing fumbles, defending passes, things like that Nick wasn't. So if he can get 12 sacks and like I said, forced fumbles and stuff like that he has at the clip he has in his career, I think he could definitely be in that discussion.
Well,
y'all ready for mine?
I definitely, yeah. I'm ready for yours. I'm ready for yours, man.
All right. My hot take is Sam Howell will be the youngest quarterback in Washington history to throw for 4,000 yards and have 30 plus touchdowns.
Wait, say that again. Let me write this
Ooh.
down.
Sam Howell will be the youngest quarterback in Washington history to throw for 4,000 yards and 30 plus touchdowns.
Mm.
Who's the youngest now?
Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk holds that record, bro.
Shit.
Y'all gotta forget Kirk was slinging that motherfucker. With Sean McVay at the helm, he was slinging that motherfucker.
Sorry, I mean, yeah.
I got
I've
a
got
hot
four-
take that kind
Hey,
of
DT,
He has
that's
some good
cold, bro.
weapons, though. He has some
I'm
good
afraid to
weapons.
hear Nugs hot take, man.
Hey, 20 of those touchdowns are gonna be eaten by Jahan. That dude is gonna eat in the red zone. He
Ain't that
cannot.
still record? 20
He gonna
touchdowns?
I think it's the 21 by Randy Moss with Brady, I think.
he gonna get
You
one a
said by
game.
Jahan?
Jahan, he's gonna lead our team in touchdowns.
5 of those, 5 or 6 of those gonna go to Dax Mill.
I actually I don't like so I don't agree with Nugs' number, but I do think that Jahan leads the team in receiving touchdowns. But
See, that
I
goes to my
think
hot take. Is I think Curtis Samuel leads our team in touchdown and all-purpose yards.
all-purpose yards I could see. But I do think Terry leads the team in catches and yards.
Agreed. I
Okay,
just think
so
Jahan eats in the red zone.
I was off. So actually, the youngest to throw for 4,000 yards was Jay Schrader.
I was about
That
to ask.
surprises me.
I was about to ask that. Wasn't that Jay
gonna
Schrader?
That surprises
I was
me.
hoping you said Patrick Ramsey.
Patrick Ramsey had to worry about the O-line.
I know that poor guy.
Patrick Ramsey's supposed to be the next great thing, bro.
Look, man, he was out there seeing ghosts before Sam Darnold was.
Jason Campbell was supposed to be my home.
What happened to Rex Grossman, yo?
I mean,
he folded in a Super Bowl and then destroyed us for however many years. 2 years.
Actually, Rexy.
I love me some Rex Grossman, yo.
What?
Oh,
that was look. Rex Grossman was the original F it. Terry's down there somewhere. Okay. That man said, "F it, I'm going deep."
I'm going to leave it on this note. The Commanders are a team that you don't sleep on this season, because if you do, you're going to lose games. I have full confidence in this team to get things done and bring a championship home to Washington. Like I said, against Dallas, Thanksgiving game, I think we're going to win that game. I think, that last game of the season, I think we're going to win that game too. I think two teams in this division is going to get swept by us.
I don't think that's on like that far. But again, I'm in the minority that thinks Dallas takes a step back this year. Not a step
What two
forward.
teams would you pick? Get swept by us?
Dallas and the Giants.
Yeah, Dallas and the Giants.
Is that what you think, or what you would want?
That is not a prediction, my friend. That is a spoiler.
He got the script already, man. He already got the script over there.
And that is not a prediction, Jobs. Okay? Write it in your notes.
I would be happy if we go 500 in the division.
I won't. We went 500 last season, right?
I want.
No, we were one.
Hell no.
We wwere.
I want 4-2.
Let's see. We were 1 and. Let's see, 2.
No, we were 2.
We were 2, 3, and 1.
We were 2, 3, and 1.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 1.
But we also. We got. I looked at it a while back. Yeah, we finished 8, 8, and 1 with 9 games against playoff teams last year.
Mm-hmm.
How many playoff teams you got this year?
Let's see. Hold on, I can tell you.
Not a
Put
lot.
that schedule back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You got it right here.
Eagles, Giants. So that's 4 of them.
I'm talking about actual playoff teams. So
We've got
They
10.
were the goddamn playoff
We've
last
got
year.
10. We've got 10 games against playoff teams.
Both of them won playoff games. I mean, I figured that would
Look,
count.
all 3 of people are in division. That's 3 teams right there. And you
That's
got
6
Buffalo.
games.
Well, okay, 6. Then you got Buffalo.
Did Dallas make it? That's 6.
Yeah, they start. Remember, they put Zeke Elliott at center.
I think it's
Oh
8.
my God.
8
I'm talking about actual playoff team. I ain't talking about guys who made it in by sheer luck, like the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about actual playoff teams.
I mean, I think you have to count them though, because they did win a playoff game.
What about the Vikings? I mean, do they count even though they lost to the not
about to
playoff
say,
but
didn't
playoff team you're talking about?
Didn't they beat the Vikings to go forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat the
They beat the
Vikings. That's what I'm
Vikings.
saying. So are the Vikings? Did the Vikings
They
count
didn't
as a
have
playoff
no
team?
defense, bro. They didn't have no defense. So to say that they won a playoff game, I'm like,
No, I don't.
The
No,
Dolphins make
I mean, I don't feel like the New
Yeah.
York's going to be as good as they were last year. I agree.
they're not.
Did
They're
the
not.
Dolphins make it?
Yeah,
Yes.
the Dolphins made it last
But
year.
they played a 3rd-string quarterback in the playoff game.
So we
I
got
think.
nine games against teams that were
Tua-
in the playoffs.
Tua don't get a concussion. The Dolphins go far in the playoffs. I admit that wholeheartedly last season.
I'm just not sold on Cuz, man. That's just me. I'm really not
It
sold
ain't
on.
about being sold on them. It's about what was the trajectory, and the trajectory was they were the hot commodity before Tua got injured.
We got
No,
9
speaking
games
of which-
against playoff teams.
Speaking of it, like I was talking about the yards per attempt earlier, like Tua had a yards per attempt of 8.9 last season.
Look who he was throwing the ball to.
I know the second closest was Mahomes at 8.1.
Hold on, wait. Who are the playoff teams again? The Eagles, the Bills.
You talking about on this schedule right here?
Yeah, the Giants.
On our
You got
schedule,
Bills,
we got
Eagles,
Eagles.
Giants.
We got 10.
Yeah, I
It was
counted 10.
Eagles,
With the
San
Seahawks.
Fran.
Giants, Bills, Niners, Dolphins,
That's it.
Seahawks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Seahawks was in. Yeah, correct.
All right. First off, no to Geno Smith. Okay, that we ain't losing that game. Second,
6, 7.
the Patriots, the Patriots,
Patriots were in a playoff team last year.
Oh well, then shoot.
Were they?
moving on there.
No,
Not last year. No, they wasn't playoffs last year. No.
The Rams.
So that's 11.
Whether
no, they
it's,
weren't in the playoffs last year.
Whether
You
it's
said
No.
no, they did not go. No, they did not.
the Rams. I don't know if Steady gonna be the quarterback or it's gonna be Noodle Arm over there. Whoever it is.
But
Who's
even
their
still,
backup?
they've gutted that roster.
Stafford?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they gutted that roster though. Either way,
Yeah, they did, man. Yeah, they gutted that roster. So again, no. Dallas, no. The Eagles the only team. Like I said, like when I'm talking about teams who have improved in the all season after last season, the only team that I'm actually really worried about is the Eagles. That's the
You're
only
not
team.
worried. You're not worried
About
about
the
the
Jets.
49ers.
Why should I be
Or the
worried about the
Jets.
49ers?
so
Because it's
My
Kyle
thing-
Shanahan. He
Wait.
just
Hold on, Aaron. Why should I be worried about the 49ers?
Bro, they have very great talent, and that team makes it to the damn playoffs every year. Something that we don't do.
With Jimmy Garoppolo. So
All right.
again,
but
So
they,
They
again,
made
but
it
they
with
have
Brock
a top
Purdy in
5
the seventh
defense.
round, bro.
Like the same thing we've relied on for
And-
years.
and they got exposed. So again,
They didn't, bro. They didn't get exposed. They got their quarterbacks knocked the fuck out the game. If you want to call that exposing,
I'm gonna ask this question again. What about
If you
Bro,
break his arm,
no,
then we'll win.
what about the 49ers is to be worried about? Because I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this: them keep just getting by with the average quarterback. It's not gonna happen for too long, and it's starting to show. You tried with Jimmy, you tried with Trey, and now you're trying with Brock. No, your offensive line can't keep up.
Yeah, they're
The
actually outside
defense
strength there.
can though. The
There's a lot of
defense
questions
can.
on that O line. But the thing, like, when I think about their defense, though, Jahan doesn't drop a touchdown, like a 70-yard touchdown that hits him in the hands in the first quarter of that game.
I remember.
We're probably coming out of half. I think we are either tied or coming out of halftime with a lead in that game.
That game was just. I don't even want to talk about that game. That game really did rub me the wrong way.
Oh no, I agree, and that was Scott Turner too. I mean, because it was like the criticism coming out of the Giants game was we didn't run the ball enough because B-Rob was averaging.
He was averaging over 5 a pop, 5 or 6 a pop,
and like 12 per touch. Like it was insane, and you ran it. You give him the ball 12 times, so then you're on the goal line against San Francisco. And what does he do? He runs the ball 4 straight times.
See, and this is why I think that we can be dominant. It's because I do believe we have the personnel. I do believe that. I do believe we have the personnel. So again, when I'm looking at the schedule, the Jets also have improved, but the Jets are the Jets, right? I think the furthest that they're going to go is maybe the first round, maybe the second round of the playoffs. And people say, well, it's Aaron Rodgers. Hello. Anybody know what's Aaron Rodgers' record against us?
Actually, I'm not even worried about Rodgers right now. I'm worried about Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook.
I'm pretty sure he got a winning record against us, but I'm sure that winning record ain't like astronomical. Like it's like
no, it's not astronomical against us, but he has a winning record against us.
I mean, yeah, but
you said what?
No, he was talking about Aaron Rodgers. I was like, Aaron Rodgers has a winning record against us, but it's not like a blowout.
Not recently. Not
Aaron
recently.
Rodgers 3-4 against us.
Huh?
Aaron Rodgers 3-4 against us.
Not recently. We've been beating Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers.
Out of all the teams in the NFC East, he has only had 2 games against us that has been blowouts. But other than that, we always play Aaron Rodgers.
Whip, the jury has spoken, and I'm gonna say this again.
I ain't scared.
Why am I worried about?
But
why am I worried about Aaron Nicholas Cage Rodgers? Why am I worried about it?
So, it don't matter. We're gonna be sitting our starters by then anyway.
I mean, I think Philly's clearly the best team that's on our roster. I mean, on our schedule. But I honestly I've got the same question. I've got the same concern for them this year that I had for them last year.
The moment we beat them,
and what was that?
I do feel like they're very top heavy. Like there's not just an example. Just use their wide receiver room. Yes, Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are great. Those are clearly the top 2 wide receiver group in the East. But what's behind those 2 guys?
You have a valid point there.
I'm gonna be real.
They got very lucky last season to not suffer a lot of injuries to any of their biggest guys. So my question is, whereas we've seen at least that we can sustain having to put in some lesser guys in spots,
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, look at the defense. We were top 5 defense with David Mayer taking a large percentage of snaps on the defense last year. So, my biggest question with Philly is if they start getting some injuries,
Cody Barton is fast.
What are they going to do?
Now you have a valid point on that because it also, since you brought that up, you just opened my eyes about that because you also remember when we played them on that Monday Night Football game, they didn't have depth behind the D line. They had to go out and grab free agents immediately.
Yep.
So I understand what you're saying. That's a very good logic. That makes sense.
And even AJ Brown, like in that game, he played the whole game. But if I remember correctly,
he was hurt.
He was hurt and continued to play. And you now hold that guy to 7 yards, and you can send a double team over to Devontae Smith.
Watch this. Hey DT.
Yep.
Remember when we played Philly again the second time, and everybody was like, "Oh, but we undefeated. Y'all really think y'all gonna beat us?" Let me tell you something. Here. Okay, just because you undefeated, we didn't beat an undefeated team before. We did. It was the Steelers. They said the same thing.
Yeah, I got one for you, CJ. I got one for you, CJ.
They said the same thing. Hold on, Aaron. They said the same thing. Y'all really think y'all gonna beat us? Y'all ain't beat us the first time. Well, look here. Let me tell you what happened. We found the sauce. We found the sauce to put it in to the birds. What it was, we played better football. It wasn't the same team that came into that came against that staggering offense.
But that was also a game. If you remember, CJ, I called it.
Here's the difference this year. They ain't got Steichen. They ain't got Steichen no more. They ain't got the defensive coordinator no more. And these Eagles fans saying that, oh, they were the problem. We'll see. We'll see how much of a problem they've been. We'll see how much of a problem they've been with them being there. And it's an excuse. Honestly, I think it's an excuse. Because I don't think there was a real big problem with their defensive coordinator. There were some things that I could say that I pointed out. It wasn't really that bad. It wasn't enough to say, oh, get rid of him. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. But hear me out, though, CJ. Hear me out real quick. The thing with Philly is I'm a bias compared to everybody else. Everybody mentions the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. One thing I can say about Philly, and correct me if I'm wrong, they know who the fuck they are. They know what their scheme is. That scheme they ran last year, that shit is not changing, bro. They're going to do a little tweaks to it, but it ain't changing. I don't see it changing. The defense side, maybe possibly. But, bro, that offense, they got something that was working. Why change it?
And guess what?
Why change it?
Then guess what?
Go ahead, bro.
Then we got the advantage on that then. Because we beat them with that same scheme the second time. They couldn't get us with that same scheme.
The reason why we wanted the second time, bro, is because we kept the ball, we kept their offense off the field, bro. They was blowing Bama's out by halftime.
But when we did that, our defense was replenished. They were healthy. They were ready to go. So,
and I also felt like we punched them in the mouth a bit, and they weren't ready for it. And I felt like I caught it before the game because I actually went to the bar that night with Glenn and a few other people. And I remember they showed Jalen Hurts walking in with that bright purple suit on.
So again, when DT says, who was on this schedule, Aaron, and the 405 crew? Who was on this schedule that we're actually afraid of? It's nobody.
I wouldn't say nobody, but I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I'm not gonna say afraid, but I'm optimistic about some of these things, bro.
No, I feel like we can compete. We can compete with everybody on our schedule.
Yes,
so that
doesn't necessarily mean that I'll win.
I'm with Nubs now, man. We could beat everybody on the schedule.
I didn't say we couldn't beat everybody. I just don't expect us to beat everybody on our schedule.
Shit, I do.
I know you do.
Every dang
DC
game.
do too. He just quiet right now, yo.
DT is on the same page as me. We thinking realistically.
I'm realistic because even though I did give you my hot take, I still think Sam. We're gonna see some ups and downs from Sam, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather see that than just doing the same stuff we've been doing with a veteran quarterback. And I also think he's going to be the key to if we win and lose this year because this team is set up for a quarterback to do what he needs to do. and we're gonna find out what type of guy he is. And I think he can be up because there's nobody other in this conference that's like, they have quarterback questions as well. Like everybody talking about Jalen Hurts this 1 year, but to me, I haven't seen Jalen Hurts really try to come back and win games because they were up by so many points and they had the defense.
Thank you.
After people.
That's true. That's true.
So that's why I keep telling people I'm always like, I get it. Everybody talk bad about Justin Herbert, but I've seen Herbert can carry his team and win it. I haven't seen Jalen Hurts consistently do that when he has a stacked team and Justin Herbert didn't have a stacked team. And a thing also like this, the one thing I can say about Ron Rivera that we haven't had in the longest time, when it's prime time, this team is ready.
Oh yeah, that's actually very underrated, to be honest. We've actually been good in prime time.
Under Ron, and that's one thing I'm so happy because we look other than the Eagles game where we had a lot of guys out for COVID, and the Dallas game Sunday night when Duran,
which was the same situation, to be honest.
Like other than that, we've been tight with primetime games, man. We showed up and played.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Like we were so beat with COVID during that Dallas game. We started Milo Eifler, who didn't even have a Sunday Night Football like greeting. Like they didn't have a picture of him or nothing. They just like had a blank like gray person with his name under it. Like, and that was it.
Like a creative player.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, he's making his first NFL start tonight.
On that note, I wanna first say happy birthday to my boy Glenn.
Happy birthday, Glenn.
Happy birthday, my guy. What did you?
Happy birthday, Glenn.
I'm about to put one in the air for you.
I want to thank the 4-5 crew taking the time out of y'all busy schedules to come join us today. It was a blast.
You definitely got to get one on, man.
DT,
thanks for having us, CJ. Appreciate it.
Hey man,
no, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all welcome back too.
Appreciate it.
Y'all welcome to come back, man. Kicks talk some ball.
Welcome to come back, and talk football with us. DT from the ins and outs. Let us know where they can find you at, man. Let us know what your business is. Go ahead and plug it in.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on my Hey, but you guys can follow me on my personal Twitter page at D Cleveland Jr. You can also follow my podcast page at Darius Ricks. The Ins and Out D podcast is a podcast where we talk about all NFL and college football, and I cover, the Washington Commanders with a couple other people. So, I'm gonna have some content coming up this week with a couple of my friends and stuff, but just keep a lookout.
Most definitely. We gotta get you guys in the 4-5 crew state of the art HOGside t-shirt. I think it's about time. We're gonna let you guys know when the merchandise is up and ready to go. But Aaron, let us know where they can find the 4-5 crew, where you guys are gonna be at this summer. Well, that's at this summer. This fall.
So we'll be tailgating in the command corner at the command corner tailgate. It's in the red zone lot. You can check out their Twitter page. It's not hard to find us, man. And then we'll be in 405 or section 405 row 2 during games. Other than like if we maybe get, I know you guys did group tickets and stuff like that last year together, so might have to look into that at some point during the season. But yeah, we'll be at the command corner tailgate and up in 405. So you can't miss one. So you'll know us when you see us, I promise.
No, so happy birthday to my boy Breeze, man. My boy Breeze, man. It's his birthday.
I just saw that too. Happy birthday, Breeze.
Breeze went Hollywood on it, so he couldn't join us tonight. But yeah, man. So you guys know what it is, man. The HOGside is always on live on Wednesdays, and it will be available to your ears on all major streaming platforms later on throughout the night. Just make sure that you guys follow the HOGside on Twitter at the HOGside for all the Commanders updates. Make sure you also join the community, HTT Community Commanders. that is brought to you by Red Zone in the Lab and the fans of the Commanders. 154th. Make sure that you guys please follow the fan base on Twitter. It's a whole different aspect now. It's a different type of vibe. Nothing but football content. Just endless football content for you guys as fans. To
Oh
not
yeah,
only
man, we're in spaces all day, every day.
Yeah, especially you, Aaron. You be on all
There's spaces on Twitter all day, every day about the Commanders. So if you're tired of listening to those same guys on the radio, if you're tired of looking at the same guys on ESPN, I'm telling you, go on Twitter X and just go ahead and listen to us on Spaces. It gets rowdy, but we talk good football. We talk good football.
We talk a lot of stuff, not just football. Like it gets
true.
crazy up in there sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So on behalf of the 405 crew and the Ins and Out podcast, I'm your host, CJ the Hog. This is DMVChamp Brian, the co-host. And we wish you all a great evening and have a good night. Guys ain't gotta go home.
Gotta get the hell out of here.
Hell out of here.
Hey, fellas, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you,
Hey, look,
CJ.
HTC,
Thank y'all.
man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Take the man.
Have a good night.